welcome back to HLM Industries. Today we're going to be working on getting these new cross members put in for my bed to mount on. Last time you guys were here, we were working on the front end, and I'll be honest with you, the bumper's kind of kicking my butt, so I just want to take a little break from it and work on this. This is stuff sometimes you get into a project, you got to just do a few things that make you feel like you're getting something done. Up there, I felt like yesterday I worked on it most of the day and didn't get anything done, which I probably really did, but I didn't feel like it. So I want to get all this stuff mounted, get the B&W hitch mounted hopefully, if I have the hardware. And once I get that done, I think we'll probably go back up to the front, get the core support mounted where it needs to be, and that'll give me a little bit of time to ponder on it also and exactly what I want to do. So first of all, I need to get this all cleaned up, and then we'll just start welding it in. This is going to go really fast. There's not a whole lot to it, just put some welds on each side. But before I weld the first two here down, I'm going to have to put the gas tank in, because I think my gas tank is going to hit, my fuel tank I should say, not gas tank, because there's no gas in this pickup. It's going to hit here. So I'll have to drag that stuff inside and get it mounted, and then see where it goes. It might change, because originally this had an in-tank fuel pump and stuff, which I'm not running that. I'm running all fast stuff, so we'll see how this goes. So, and to be honest with you guys, some of the reason I keep cutting you out is I like to listen to music when I work, and YouTube doesn't like that. So I just cut you guys off. Maybe I can get some earbuds or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that. But I like to wear earmuffs when I work also. I don't like my ears ringing for 2 days. I made that mistake last week doing some grinding, and my ears ring for 2 or 3 days. So sorry guys, you guys got to put up with a little bit of not seeing some stuff so I can be comfortable too. One thing I wanted to ask, have you guys been checking out Whiskey Dent's stuff? Man, that F600 is coming together good. A little bit of paint and it really changed that truck. I'm pretty excited for him. I see Classic Car Revivals is looking good too, so you guys get over there and check them out. Whiskey Dent's Classic Car Revival. Okay guys, I got this all ground off, cleaned up. And what I've been doing for this, I just take a speed square, I like those the best. Eyeball up here, put a mark. I previously marked this before I took the bed off to where the edge of the cross member was. So this is the one side of it. The X's would be the center side. So I could just set these off on the side. For me, that works better. Now this here, see there's a thing here, but it doesn't have to be perfect right here. I did use a little bit wider so you had some space for the hole. So I'll go around, mark these up real quick, and then we can get ready to put them in place to weld them in. So you guys been thinking about the name? Are we going to call it Uncle Sam? We're going to call it the Heavy Chevy? Or Super Chevy? What are we going to call this thing, guys? Hey, you guys keep tuning in over there at Whiskey Dent's. Did you guys start showing up on time for him? That's really one of his pet peeves. Me and him worked together for a lot of years, and he'd like you guys to be on time. You guys are late. I don't know how many, I mean, we're pushing close to half a year here. You guys gotta show up on time for him. You're gonna give that poor guy a stroke. He'll sick one of them little miniature bulldogs or whatever he's got on you. Tear your leg off. Okay, so now we can just set these in like this. Now mind you, I gotta remind myself not to weld this one in until I put the gas tank in. Well, I'm gonna tack it in. I shouldn't say I'm not gonna weld it, I'm gonna tack it in. That way I know exactly what I'm gonna have to cut and mark out of it. So let me see here. This one here, so you guys can see on this one, I've already had to cut some out of it. I don't think it hurt it any to get over top of the spare tire mount. This one here, had to drill a hole in it so a bolt could slide into it. if I was to do this over again, but the cab's mounted, everything's mounted, and that's what happens when you try to build a project that you want done on a deadline, or you want it done now, is you'll do things that don't make you happy. And I've done that with this, and I'm really regretting it now because, well, this is 3/4 of an inch. I could have had my cab and everything 3/4 inch lower down onto the frame, which I think I would have been happier with, because I was trying to keep this low and wide. So hopefully this will work. I mean, this will work. It's not hopefully. It's just not exactly what I wanted. So what I should have did is I should have, well, have you guys ever watched Trucks? Power Nation? Great show. It was really great when they had Kevin Taze on there. Love that guy. He's got a lot of good stuff out there, by the way. Every Saturday I'd be up watching those guys. I still watch it. But they did that, I think they call it the Super Dually. And they put it on a Dodge frame. And what they did, and this is what I should have done, is they actually notched the cross member that was on the bottom of the bed to get over the fuel tank. I should have done that. Then I could have had the bed sitting flush, and I wouldn't have had to raise this any. But I didn't. So I was in a hurry. And at that time, I was using the bed off the red and black crew cab for mock-up. I didn't have a bed because I was originally going to flatbed this. But if you guys have checked the prices on those, sweet mother of Jesus, you guys are going to have to get a second mortgage just to buy one. So I'm not saying it's out of the question yet. Maybe in the future we'll build a custom flatbed for this. I don't know. I love the look of the box on it, but when you use these things for work, man, it's hard to beat a flatbed. I'll tell you that much right now. Okay, I'm gonna get my welder set up, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tack this stuff in real quick without you guys watching. You don't need to see me tack it in. I'll get it all squared up here, tack it in real quick, and then we'll get the gas tank in here and start figuring that out. Hey guys, another thing I'm realizing is today, I need to clean this thing out. It is full of parts and other stuff. As I've been telling you, I'm using this as storage also. And these doors got to come off because I got to lift this cab off, and I do not want to mess these doors up. And I just stick forks through the window on a skid steer and lift it. So these got to come off. I have another set that I use for this. I don't mind. Hell, maybe I don't even need to put doors on this one. I don't really care about this cab, but I probably will. I don't want to mess up this roof skin. Originally, I bought this pickup for the roof skin because the red and black one, I was going to cut it like right in here somewheres, and then I was going to put the front doors on and then weld this section on the front door, so it would have made it like a mega cab. But this glass right here, to find that, is pretty tough. Or to get someone to cut it. I was able, I'm not saying it can't be done, I just don't have the sources to find someone to cut me this curved glass to make a big door, because I was going to cut this here and then put this section on my pickup, on my crew cab, and stretch it. I think I figured like 6 inches. I mean, these back doors would have been big, but as you people know who've been around these are really just like a little bit bigger extended cab than a crew cab. So I really wanted a family rig, but I'm dealing with it. I'll just build a 60. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've just put a nice size tack on that side so I can get these ones lined up where I want them perfectly now. I'll go back, put a tack on this side. I believe that once I do that, they can all be solid welded in except for, I don't want solid weld 1 and 2. So I have these numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did that because I had this sitting quite a ways outside, and I wanted to make sure that when I was measuring, put all my measurements, it worked out where I wanted it, and then I had to drill a hole in one, and you know, that kind of stuff. So now I'll go ahead, get these all ready to weld in. Like I said, see, now I feel like I'm getting something done. So this is why I stepped back to do this. I feel like I'm making some progress. The plan is once all these are done, I'm not going to put the bed on yet. I'm going to paint it all, and then I'll set the bed down on it. I'm considering Let me know what you guys think about taking like old bicycle tube and gluing it down on these. Set the bed down on that so you don't get rattles. It'd be nice. Give a little sponge. Ford had these. They only had 2 of them, or 4 of them total. I don't understand. That's not very many, but maybe that was just enough to keep it from rattling. Because it bolted here, here, here. There's probably a couple more back there, I would guess, but maybe that was just enough to keep it from rattling. I don't know. That the frame's a little bit low there, so I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. A couple other things, guys. Make sure that you're comfortable when you're welding, or you will not get good welds. I'm no whiskey dent at welding, but I can lay a bead down and it'll stick together. My favorite's the old heavy-duty universal tractor hydraulic and transmission oil. For my chair, I'm not much into them little rolling ones. I'm kind of a big boy, so the wheels don't like me. When I stick to buckets. Hey, who would like to see whiskey dents out here on HLM Industries? Get him come out from Minnesota, help out for a day or 2. Get a like. Get him to come. Okay, guys, went out and got the measurement. It's 31 1/4. Okay. Center to center, best I could do. I mean, it'll be close enough. Good enough for the girls we go with. But if that doesn't flip your skirt, you do what you need to do. And this is, I would say probably 37 3/4. Maybe I'll just do this. This is probably a better measurement. That's 32 1/4. So I need to be a 1/2 inch inside each side on the frame rail. So that's pretty easy to do, which is great up here because that means my bolt's going to clear and not hit my gas tank. I will make sure my gas tank's out when I'm drilling these holes because I hate to drill a hole through it. So the other thing, I'd like to thank Robin's Roost Cabins of Hill City, South Dakota today for helping out and the sponsor of the heat in this shop. He gave me a bunch of wood a couple years, last year I believe it was. So Matt up there, they're great people. If you're ever in the area, you need a place to stay, make sure you check out Robin's Roost Cabins. Great people, fair pricing, and you know, they're just a common man. He also loves to build hot rods, so another reason I like him. But good people, check them out. Appreciate the firewood, Matt. Okay, guys, I said I wasn't gonna bolt this in. I thought I might just put up there as a jack. And I'll tell you what, the old Pittsburgh ATV motorcycle lift worked amazing for this. It's nice and wide. One person right up in there. But it was so easy, I went ahead and put the straps on. There was 4 bolts, so the straps are on. I'm glad I did this. I was originally going to weld number 2 in solid, but good thing I didn't. Number 1 actually is a little trimming. Number 2, you're going to have to take a lot. Boy, number 2, there ain't going to be anything left. I may have to come up with a different design for number 2, actually, the more I look at it. What I'll try to do is I'll try just to leave the one piece holding it together. Unfortunately, I may have to move bolt hole number 2 over closer to the frame so it clears. I probably should have took a measurement, I guess, of exactly where the bolts went through before I took the bed off, but I didn't. So I know the width of the frame. That's simple. I can measure that real quick. The bed's outside. I can go out, measure the center on the bolt holes, and do a little on my phone for the math, and we'll be there. So I guess I better go out and get some measurements real quick before I even start hacking on number 2, because if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But well, hold on a minute here. I got a speed square here somewhere. You'll find the thing. Oh, there it is. I always lose things. Yeah. You could maybe get I don't know, beard hair through there. but there's not going to be much. So I'm going to have to go measure that, because I think what's going to have to happen, I'm going to have to cut this here. And this isn't going to be a very good one. It's not going to be as good as I want it to be. Let's put it that way. But I don't know. I mean, it's going to have quite a few other bolts, and it should be fine, right? So I may end up just cutting this off. I did see a fellow YouTuber. He just ran some gussets down underneath of here and hooked into here, which that's more than feasible to keep that one holding. But he was using a Dodge chassis also. So, and it was just a regular cab, but it was a pretty good video. Well, let me go get some measurements and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I got these welded down. Some of them turned out really nice. Other ones look like maybe Ray Charles was doing it. But hey, we're gonna make it happen. The old Miller 215 pulls through. That's my uncle's welder. He also has another big Miller that I use. I do have a Miller 211, and I absolutely love that machine. It's in my dad's right now. I do have a cheap knockoff. I think it's a Imico or something like that. Amazon plasma cutter. It's a couple $100. I recommend them. They actually work pretty good. I mean, I cut some, well, hell, I cut this little over 1/4 inch steel with it yesterday like it was butter. So check them out. I think it was like $260 or something. This is not a paid promotion. So now I'm gonna get the gas tanks underneath there. You know, there's a motorcycle jack back there. Might be just the ticket for this to put underneath here. Jack it up. And I may not even actually have to bolt it in, which would be great, because I don't want to weld over top of this plastic tank. This was a gas tank, not a diesel tank. I've ran diesel in gas tanks. I don't think you can run gas in a diesel tank, but you can run diesel in a gas tank, because you'll see on this tank it's got a lot more venting for the gas, where diesels wouldn't have the venting on it. Here, let me get this up here where you can see better. Diesels wouldn't have all this venting. This is a gas thing, and whew, you can smell she's sour. I'm gonna have to get that cleaned out also. Find me some old rags and clean her out and stoke the fire with it, huh? So, okay guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so how I'm gonna mark this is just kind of rough. I'm just gonna do a mark up both sides here where I think I should cut it. About as high as I want to go. It doesn't have to be very much on this one, because it's barely hitting here. I'll just draw it across there. I'll probably just cut it with a grinder, so we don't have to be all perfect and such, you know what I mean? Because it won't be when I'm done. Now for this one, I really got to think what I want to do here. I think what I might end up doing is bringing this all the way out, like so. Maybe what I should do before I do that is get me a little piece of metal welded on there, because I think I'm going to end up coming over to give more support on it on this one. Because these ones I'm welding the ends here, as you can see. This one here, I'll put some support on it like that. Luckily, I didn't weld that very good. That goes to show how good a tax I did. It just popped it right off, but that's okay. But I'm going to weld it like that, or I'll get it set. I'm not going to weld it. Get it set. Then I can mark where I want to cut it on both sides, or one side, cut that side, then put the other side on. And I don't really see any point going real long with it, so maybe I'll just make them both the same lengths on this one. Do the same thing on both sides. That'd probably be best to look the best too. I really want it to be one, but it's not going to be. Ooh. Well, there is clearance here. There is clearance. So with that being said, maybe I should find me a level. That might be harder than I think. I bet there's one out in my soccer rig. outside. Let me go get one out of my soccer mom Tahoe, and then we can hit it. As my son says, that's a girl's car. Now the little man, he might think the Tahoe's a girl's car because his mom has one, but his mom's friend that she lives with, friend, so I'll say, he also drives one, so I'm a little confused there, but it is what it is. I just agree and drive on my life, but The Tahoe has a lot of room for storing parts for projects. Get yourself one. And the mileage isn't bad. So, well, there's probably a 1/4 inch right there, so that'll be fine. As long as I get it welded right, it'll be fine to clear the bottom of the bed cross members on there. That was my concern right there for a minute. I would start scratching my head and go, oh no, oh no. Help me, Tom Cruise. I'm new, I don't know what to do. But nope, this will work. Might have to put a leveling kit on this. She's floating down a little bit, but this is a Super Duty, so once you put a fuel tank in her, toolbox, a pack of cigarettes in the back, she'll be squatting. Okay guys, got this welded on here. You can see it's kind of my plan now. Who's a bench grinder fan? I love them. Grind that off, just a couple seconds. So, maybe I'll get fancy, I'll get the square out. I think I want to give myself a little room away from that tank. I'm going to cut her off right there. So I'll just throw that in the chop saw. Cut that off right there. Because, let me see here. Only a 1/2 inch, so that'll give us quite a bit of room. I don't even, maybe I shouldn't even do that much. You know, that's kind of a waste of good steel just to hang out, isn't it? So, let me double check my measurements. 31 1/4. That's 32 1/4. I need an inch on each, 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to do a different measurement this time. There is 3/4, 2 3/4 plus, which is 1/16. So I would like to be 3 3/4 plus on this. I'll go 7/8 because your chop saw usually mess something up and I don't get the blade set right or something. I'm not saying it's chop saw by any means, please don't think that. I'm just an idiot. Okay. Did that on the wrong side. That's okay. Gotta go all the way over. Okay. Now we just, oh, nice job. Now I just cut this off. I don't have to grind that. And this piece will be ready to go on there. I'll do some measurements once I put this on, so I can tie back into the frame with this little section. I'll probably just put one on each side so I can drill through and then still get a bolt on it. That'll work. Okay. I'm not a professional at this camera thing, so I'm working on it. Thank goodness I got a good editor, so she can make me seem like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so now it's time we get out the marker and oh, I suppose I need the tape measure, the smart stick. Okay, 2 3/8. So, as I'm going here, I gotta be thinking, how far does this slide on there? I think I like that for the amount that I'm gonna slide over because I'm gonna have to level the side here. So let's go 2 3/8 from here. I got one of these fancy tape measures. You get them over at Menards. If you have Menards, go to Menards. Save you big money, 10% off. They're like $5, but they got these little numbers on them for people like me that aren't carpenters, so I know exactly what I'm measuring. Also, not a paid promotion. But Menards, I will take paid promotions if you want to give them to me. buy a sanding disc or something there. Buy a house and then I can remodel there or something. I don't know. Okay, so that there's not cut very square. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark it there, but I'll leave it a little fat because I know I'm not square. We'll just start like that because you can trim as you go. And this will work for both sides on this, so it's only going to be one pattern you're going to need. And the reason I decided to go to do this side first, one I told you I was going to, but two is because I can just cut this pattern down a little bit smaller and work on that side. So it'll save me building two patterns. Okay, this does not need to be like that. That's much too long. So how far down do we want to go here? I don't know, maybe we go down two and a half inches. I like 2.5 inches. Let's do 2.5 inches. So now I'm going to measure from that point down 2.5 inches. Check. And it's a speed square. And normally, honestly, I don't use a speed square, but I'm on camera right now, so I want you guys to think I'm smart and I know what I'm doing. I usually just cut it and cut it and cut it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to probably make this fancy pattern, trace it onto the metal, and then I'll end up grinding for an hour to get the metal to fit how I want it to. It happens every time. I don't know. Arts and crafts wasn't my strong suit. Luckily, arts and crafts is both my son's strong suit. So, good news is, maybe I can get them to start doing arts and crafts for me over here. Have them come over and make these patterns. Okay. As I told you, wasn't going to fit quite right because this is not square. So I need to trim just a little bit off the top here. Okay, I like that. That fits pretty darn good. Oh, you know what the problem is? It's this sharp corner right here. See? I'll 45 it on this, but when I do it on the grinder, I'll just round it nicely. Okay, that fits pretty good. Now, where's my fancy marker? Maybe I should weld that into place. I don't really want to weld that into place. And I'll have to go like this. Take some off the top. Give her a haircut. Are you guys long-haired people or short-haired people? I like my hair short. Both of my boys, they like their hair long. I don't know how they do it. Stuff's hanging in their eyes and everything else, but me, man, I like that stuff short. Not shaved short for me, but I don't want my woman with a shaved head either, but I guess if that's what's really floated her boat, I'd still love her. She's a good woman. Okay, I like that so far. Here's my fancy marker again. Keep throwing it in this WD-40. I'm putting that in my mouth. I'm never going to shut up now. Okay, I want to be right here, at least. So let's cut that off now. Now you can see my eyeballing. Now I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch back from there at least. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to weld on the side of this here rather than on this face right here. I want to be able to put my bead right along the side here rather than on the face. Okay, so that fits pretty good there. Happy with that. Okay. Everything's looking pretty good. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this here unit right after I do something I need to do more importantly. There we go, getting that. There we go, getting that WD-40 again. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Sorry. I had some dyslexic people when I was a kid around me, and they'd call it DW40. So I gotta make sure I'm always calling it the right thing. Okay, let's see. I gotta figure out how to work my square here. That's how it needs to be. So I guess I'll just hold it like this. Maybe I could just do it. Oh, look at that there, huh? I'm just gonna do it like that. It won't be a perfect 45, but it'll be fine. And I'll just take it and go like so. So far we're here. Here's where we're at. Man, I look like a professional today. I do like that. That looks pretty nice. I think that's how I'm going to use this one. Yeah. Should fit this side too. Huh? Professional. Okay, guys. Let's find some metal and build this here. Okay, guys. I got this ready to go here. I got this great CenturyLink box. About the only thing good I ever got from them. The internet ain't worth a shit. So, look at this. I already got a little bit of a hook in it there. It just needs to be a little bit wider. So we get my scissors out. Whatever I did with them, I just had them pocket. And I'm just going to trim it until it fits over my frame. Now, some people, they get out their fancy markers, this and that. I'll do that, but I'm just not quite ready for that yet. That's getting close. A little bit more, I think, I'd like to take off. It's really raining outside, guys. We're supposed to get snow. We have not, which, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm okay if we don't. I'm tired of snow and cold. Okay. That fits over my frame pretty decently. Probably get the camera moved somewhere so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright guys, I went out to my metal stash. Found this piece right here. About the same thickness as this rectangle tubing I'm using. You dry it off. It's raining out. Okay. Now I gotta find my pattern. Oh, I hope I didn't take that outside and leave it. I didn't. It's right there, guys. Right there. So as I do this, I want to make sure that I use whatever metal I can and not waste any. I don't like to waste the metal. Most of the time I'm using scrap iron to build most of this stuff. And a lot of grinding and sanding. But I think if I just do it like this right here, it'll be okay. Is that the best way? Is it really the best way? Better do it like this. I think probably like that would be better. Because then I would already have this piece built for another one. Maybe I'll try that. That'd be best. I'm going to waste a little bit here, but throw it in the scrap pile, and you never know what you might need it for. I've given me a total of 4 of these, or similar 4 of these, but what are you guys using for markers? Are you guys Sharpie guys, or are you guys using those new Milwaukee markers? I kind of like the Milwaukee ones and Sharpies, but okay, let me find my marker. Okay, got the second one built. The weld would have looked really nice if I wore welding gloves, but I prefer these. Hand got hot and I had to move my welder, but it turned out okay. I gotta grind it yet. So I'm gonna put this one on the other side, over here. It'll be like this. And I may do this one first a little bit, get an idea of how I want to support it. It's gonna take a little more work than I really want to do, but to be right, that's what I'll probably end up doing, because I want it right. So I'll have to do that. Guess I should just leave it there. I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to get our friend cardboard out and build some cardboard templates for it. I think that's gonna be the best. I'll have to do that on this side too. So, quick question. What are you guys using for footwear? I got these DeWalt, they call them muck toe. I wouldn't recommend these to your ex-wife's new husband. They suck. Although I did spend some money yesterday on some Georgia insoles, and that's changed my life. I was hurting so bad from walking on this concrete that I couldn't even move. So if you're going to buy these DeWalts, get yourself some Georgia insoles. Not a paid promotion. But Georgia, I'd love a pair of your muck toe boots. I do like them. They just weren't in my budget. So I'll be tagging you in this. So let's go ahead. I don't think I want to weld this on yet. I need to get this. I'll have to take the gas tank back out now. But I think I should probably build my support pieces first before I take the gas tank back out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll get ready to take the gas tank. Okay, guys and gals, men and women, and whatever else you identify as that want to watch my channel, I don't really care. Whatever floats your boat. Here's the pieces. Turned out fairly well. I'm pretty scared, not real great at that plasma cutter. Once again, you got to be comfortable, and I was not comfortable. I was trying to do it outside and it rained a little bit. Have so much stuff in here. We don't really like to do a lot of stuff in here, but I mean, I think I could weld that gap. As Putin's Fab Shop say, Mama didn't raise no punk. Yeah, what do you think? I think that'll look out just fantastic. And then the guy can just reach right up in there. So, I guess let's just weld this on. Be done with it, huh? I like it. Give me some clamps and hold it tight. All right, let's try out this fancy Milwaukee. It's got a really nice tip on it. Ooh, that does draw nice. Guys, as you make these patterns, don't be afraid to change some things. Even after you won't see that, I did the whole pattern and I forgot to draw a line there. Talking. Don't be afraid to change the things. See, this is still wet right here, which is not working good. Sharpie probably drawn through it. Okay, that's drawn there. But this here, see how this is rounded? I don't really think there's a necessary need for that, so I'm going to go ahead and just freehand it out here like I'm a professional. And while I'm drawing, I might as well draw this one out here. See that? I'm wasting metal, guys, but I also don't have to make this angle twice, and I'm lazy. Probably use a grinder? I don't know. Maybe I should fire up the plasma cutter and do it, huh? I do have a drag tip on my plasma cutter, so that will work pretty good. I can set up a fence, you know, one of them fancy little fences, and like I know what I'm doing. Because I'm not very good with it. I don't use it ever. These are the two we need for that side. This will save, because like I said, we're just going to trim this down some to use on this other side so we stay kind of symmetrical. Now that I'm looking at this, I almost kind of wished I would do that for all of these, but it'll be fine. Never hurts to have this extra support all the way across there on all the rest of them anyways. So you start throwing stuff in the box, it doesn't bend it. So, okay, let me get this cut out. Let me get this cut out and we'll get back to you. Okay guys, got the first one on. Welding didn't turn out too bad. Looks like maybe a professional did it, but I got lucky. I didn't have to have someone else come do it. It looked that way. Huh. I'm down below everything. There's a couple little nubs on there I should probably brush off, just keep them squeaks, and this one right here is gonna have to be ground. Didn't do that before I put it on here. My mistake, but I was gonna hurry. What I might do with this though is I might drill a hole in this one and put these little pieces in here that are offered by Ford. Earlier I had them come out of that right there, see? Instead of the bicycle tube on that. That might be a good idea. Yeah. Sometimes I surprise myself. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the gas tank out on this side. Get the gas tank out, grind this down so it's nice and clean again, and get ready to build this side. No, I'm not going to get the gas tank out yet. See, I've forgotten, once again, getting ahead of myself. Move this out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my fancy little pieces, or my fancy little cardboard template, and see what I need to do to make this fit. So, all of that seems pretty darn snazzy. Now I just need to find my marker. Like I said, I made this one a little bit smaller than that side. I kind of wished I wouldn't have, but I did, so it is what it is. So I just need to mark it right here. So that's how much I don't want on here. I'm going to cut this off straight right here. And then I'm going to take another 1/4 inch. Because like I told you, I do like to build a weld flush, or have a little setback so it welds on, so I have a nice place to lay a bead. That seems to fit in there very nicely. The only thing I don't like is I don't like where this is at. So I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll just round this a little bit. No, I don't like rounding because when you round, it's hard to cut it out. If you cut it square and then just bevel the edge, works a lot better. So, let me look at this one more time, see how much I hate it. Don't hate it, don't love it. But I think I'm going to go with it, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. And then I'm just going to round this edge once I grind it. I think it'll work better. Other than that, this is a perfect template for this side also, I believe. I don't see it. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and take about a 1/2 inch off of this one right here. And then I'm just going to do this because I think I'm like some professional. The reason I'm doing that is because I noticed I got some brake lines I want to run right here, and I'm going to use the original mounts, so I want to make sure I have plenty of room that they're not going to rub. So we're going to have one mount that ain't crazy great, but we'll be okay. I'll do 2 of these, then I'll check back in. Okay guys, got this side welded in. Yeah, it's not the world's beautiful welding, but it's solid. Could be ground a little bit here and there. A couple of little edges I need to knock off. Once it's painted, you're really not going to be able to know the difference. Like that. Granted, they were a little busy, but that still doesn't give them the right to do bad hair. I mean, these kids got to go to school. Can you imagine? That's what I told him. I was scared he might get beat up or picked on until he cried. But luckily, he didn't get burned. So I'm going to go ahead and get my wheel changed on my grinder, cut this out, and I'll clean it up a little bit, and it'll be ready to weld in. Then at that point, I would say all these cross members are done, ready for the box to go on at some point. Drill them, then I'll get started on this. Okay guys, I'm back. I got this cut out. I mean, it didn't turn out too bad. I think it'll look better once you see this here. You won't be able to really tell. And that's a nice area for that gas tank. So this is one of my favorite tools I've bought. It's a Milwaukee die grinder. Works great. The only thing I don't like about it is these are really hard to get out. But this has saved me a few times. The other tools I can talk about is Icon from Harbor Freight. I'm Really impressed with them. By the way, not a paid sponsor. But, okay, so this will be ready to weld in. I just clean these up while I have the grinder out so they're smooth. They're ready for the bed to sit on them. I just need to get this into position on both sides. We can weld it in. There's plenty of room for the gas tank now. Get up here a little closer so you can see. That's all I did was just drilled them holes, cut it. Took my little die grinder in here just to smooth these edges up some. Ground a little bit so it looks a little nicer. Once it's painted, it won't really matter. You know, a guy could lay a piece of pipe or something in there. It would work good. If you had right size pipe, you could lay it right in there and weld it. Grind it down smooth. You look all professional stuff, but I'm not going through that. One, it's on top of the gas tank. Two, it's fine. Like I said, our mounts are going to be clear out here, so this is really no structure. The only thing I'm using it for is for my whole bed to sit on for the extra support of the cross members in the bed. You know, when you look at the bed floor cross members, they're much thinner than this stuff even is. So this should be more than adequate for what we're doing today. So, okay, let me get this welded in. The threads are pretty dirty on these, so what I'm going to try to do is just run this tap over them, clean them up. I don't want to buy this stuff new. Okay, cut that off, weld a different bolt on if you really wanted, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get the rust out of them is really all it is. So, I mean, I'm doing this by hand, so it ain't a big deal. You're not cutting new threads, you're just cleaning threads. Down here I might have to cut some new threads, I see, because they're kind of messed up, but just get the rust out of them so the bolt nut screws on easy and they can get tight easily. And I have this set available to me, so I'm going to use it. It's a little work, but it's not a big deal. It'll be cleaned up. It'll work out good. So I'll get these cleaned up real quick, and then we'll get back on it. Okay, I have tacked both sides of this, so it shouldn't move. Now I'm going to lay the bead. We'll go ahead and just weld, or you guys can watch. You guys give you a little bit of welding. But I'm not saying follow what I do. It's not a pretty weld, but as you can hear that sound like bacon frying. You people who eat bacon, you know, maybe there's some of you guys out there watching that don't. Hey, good for you, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Tried it, don't work for me. But you get that sound, you know you're getting good penetration, nice weld. I've got this welder turned up a little bit. This is just a 110. You can also convert it over to the 220. A lot of this work I'm doing, I'm just doing the 110 because you can turn it up high enough to weld it. But I do have a big welder there in the back, like I weld the frame, and sometimes I switch this over to the non-gas wire, but that shit is messy. So what I'm doing on this to get a good penetration, and this metal's so much thinner than the frame, is I weld on the frame a lot, keep my heat there, and then just kick my puddle up to it, which then will get this welded good too, but you get good penetration into your frame, which is much thicker steel. That's what I found works for me. I don't know if it's the right way, but it's always helped my welds that way. Is have thicker metal, point the gun, keep the heat on it, and then just flip it up once in a while. And that'll, you know, you'll still get your you'll get your tie together, but don't spend as much time there. Put a lot more time on your heavier steel. That weld there did not turn out great. because I did not have it sand ground there properly with clean metal. Something else you beginners, welders, need to know is if you're using wire feed, make sure you keep your lead as straight as possible. If you don't, your wire will want to bind up. That'll mess up your welding also. That was a nice weld there. I know I'm not perfectly straight with this cross member after I've welded it because there's a hole right here in the frame where the bed mounted. And I went into this hole on this side. That side I barely hit it. That's where you heard that bad welding going there, but it's okay. Like I said, this is, I think it's 2.5 inches. Oh, it's 2 inch. It's 2 inch by 3/4 what I'm using for this. Well, it's 1 inch actually. 2 inch by 1 inch. But I think if I remember right, when I measured the supports for the floor, they were only like 1.5 inches. They weren't quite as wide as this. The one thing I may regret on this whole deal is not putting something between these so the bed could slide on here a little bit. You're gonna have to have it just perfect when you set it down onto these. It's gonna be a mess and a real pain to move. Luckily I got access to a skid steer, help, and a crane on a service truck, so if I have to, I'll use it. But we're ways away from that yet for the bed going back on. Now we need to get started on this. Spray this down with WD-40, getting it ready because it has been outside. Out pretty good. Just chasing the threads with a tap and some WD-40. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is the best, but this is what I use. You guys might like something else. You can comment what you like. Do not say KY Jelly or Astrogel. This is not a P. Diddy channel. We are rockers through and through here. AC/DC, Van Hagar. You know what I mean. You guys are probably wondering why, oh yeah, you gotta modify this, you're thinking, right? This is supposed to be a hitch just off a 2006 Ford. Just mount right on. It would. But we have a slight issue. Because I had to put these in, that means I had to raise the hitch up 1 inch in order to get it right. So, that being said, I'm going to have to modify these brackets to be up 1.5 inches because it's got this hook kind of thing that hooks in here. And these 2 bolts holes ain't going to line up. I have a plan for this. Yes, I do. Will it work? I sure think so. We don't know until we get after it. So, my goal is to get this in here. I'll get it all tightened down where I want it. Once I do that, by the way, tap and die, really clean these up nice. Once it's all tightened down where I want it, then I'll make some marks to cut it, because then I'll always have to drill 1 hole for this. So I'm going to have to slice it through the middle. Let me get on the other side so you can see me. You're going to have to slice this bracket. I think it's right through here, all the way. Make it into 2 pieces. Then what I'll do is raise that up, bolt that in, and then I'll just plate both sides, plate it, V it out well, weld it, and then plate it again. It'll probably be stronger than it was originally, to be honest. So let me rattle these on real quick. Okay, now I think we should pull a couple measurements and see how close to square I am. I think I'm probably pretty close. Close is good enough with this situation. I'll just hook right here to there. 40.5. There. Well, it says 40.5, so we're perfect. Now, I guess I should just make these into 2 pieces. Cut them off, take them back off, cut them off, and then bolt them in. Probably square this up first. Ooh, that's nice on your ears, isn't it? Hearing protection, people. Hearing protection. Always wear it. I'm not right now. I try to, though. All right, guys. I don't really like to weld things in place where they're at, and that way it stays. But I'm also welding this really, really hot because I want to make sure I get good penetration. And I'm not a very good upside down welder, so I'm going to have to take it back off to weld this bottom side. And while it's off, I guess I go ahead and build this back side. Need to mark it before I do, so I can build me a plate to go on the back side. But I don't think she's going to be going anywhere, guys. She's going to be pretty solid, I think. So let me take it off and go ahead and get it all welded up. Re-drill that 1 hole I need to drill. And then get me a plate cut. Boy, I don't know. I really don't know if I can do that. That stayed on far enough? Boy. I may not did a good job on this as I was hoping. I may actually just have to build a piece that goes in here, actually. My idea is not going to work because then that's going to put this bolt head and this other one almost hitting, I have a feeling. So that won't work. But that's the things you learn as you go here. It's not a big deal, just a bolt. So, okay, let me get this part. Okay, guys, you can see I've just got this cut in half. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a measurement here. That's 1 inch. done, it is time consuming. This is still not perfectly centered, so I've got it held kind of where I want it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like this for now. It's welded solid, both sides. I mean, it's solid. It's all bolted in. This is a bugger, this U-clamp that goes around and ties in. There is adjustment in the center of this if you loosen these, but the problem is it's already shoved all the way this way, and I still need to come this way a 1/4 inch. So what I'm gonna have to do is get that side pretty much built, loosen all this up, pry it to where I want it, then retighten it in the correct spot. But we're making headway. It's almost mounted. It did end up coming back, I don't know, 1/2 inch, I'd say, from where I originally had it planned. Yeah, 5/8 of an inch. Not even a bunch. I mean, it's still ahead of the axle, so they'll still put weight ahead. But here's kind of what I got going. I did put some Rust-Oleum rust converter behind all this in the back side of this. This is all going to get the Eastwood stuff on it. Same with this. I'll just hit it with a wire wheel real quick, the old cheek poker, and get this shit off because it's just, well, it's garbage, obviously. And then I'll Rust-Oleum it all. Everything will get it, or not Rust-Oleum, Eastwood. Eastwood it all. So it's not as much as I wanted to get done today. Told you guys, yeah, maybe I'd get back on the front end to get that video finished up. So this video actually might come out before the front end now, because this video I'm hoping to get done today. So I'm gonna hustle because I've got to leave here in just a little bit to go get my son. So I've got to get this done. Okay guys, so I got a piece cut out. This is kind of how I'm gonna do it. I didn't get it very good because I didn't realize that end fell down, but it does. I'm gonna mark it with my marker, take it back off, grind everything clean, and then I'm gonna roll my big welder up here and get it set solid. I left a gap here and here because I think what I'm going to end up doing is I do think that I'm going to probably take this and then put a piece of angle here also down to like here on that one. I guess on that side I'm not going to do anything but just weld that. But this side I'm going to put a piece of angle here just to support it. That side I don't really need to because it was not really there to begin with. So I'm going to do that. I'll weld this, and like I said, I'm still going to put a piece on the back. This one here I was able to make straight rather than put that little dip in it like the other side will have to have for the pole to flip my ball. I'll get it all welded, then I'll flip it, weld the back side, grind it down, punch this hole that I'm going to cover, and then I'm going to plate this inside. There's plenty of room to do another one. This thing should be more than stout. I don't plan on seeing DOT with this rig. It's going to run private plates and private trailer, so I don't think we'll have to worry about DOT with it. And besides, it's a plenty good fix. I'm not doing anything that's dangerous here, that I believe is dangerous. I've seen some pretty dangerous looking gooseneck hitches in my time. So pop this off, clean it up, and then I'll go ahead. So I'm just going to trace it like so I know where it is. Clean up, and then I'll get this cleaned up good. Just going to stick my grinder in here and clean it. Then I'll go ahead and take this off now. Clean this all up good here. And then I can lay a weld on them. I'm probably not going to weld this side yet either. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because I'm going to try to get a piece of angle iron the same thickness and slide in there. Well, I won't need a piece of angle iron. I'll just need another piece of plate like this. Go in here. It'll go down to here. And then I'll put a bead. I'll V these out. Before I put this on, I'll V this good on both ends here. And then that way that plate can weld together. It'll be plenty strong. So, all right. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. I got to go here shortly. But so I need to move this a 1/4 inch that way. So my plan is to loosen this up, stick this behind it on each side, and build everything a 1/4 inch out from the frame, weld it solid, And then I'll loosen that side, and when I tighten this side, it should pull it that way, I'm hoping. So I'll tighten everything down, 1/4 inch out where it needs to be, weld it solid, loosen that side, suck it that way. Hopefully it works, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get this done today. I gotta go soon. Okay, people, it is the next day. My camera died last night, so I wasn't able to finish showing you guys what I did, and I didn't get done anyways, so quick recap. Yesterday we got cross members in, and the 5th wheel hitch mounted. It's square, across, and same link back and forth. So I do think I'm gonna put a little bit of a tack weld on this actually, because honestly, I'm not real trustworthy in my bolts. Just on the frame part here, not on the frame to this, so it can be removed. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm gonna hopefully get the rest of the next video done today also. So we'll get 2 videos coming out soon, I hope. I'm not a very good editor, I figured out. Actually, I can't edit at all, so I'm getting some help. But we're gonna get some videos out soon, guys. So bear with me until we get this editing thing figured out. It's gonna be great, I promise, in the end. All right, don't forget about Whiskey Dents and Classic Car Revival. They've got 2 great giveaways coming out. You guys need to get on there and watch it. And if you're in the Hill City area, check out the Robin's Roost cabins. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it safe.